There was visible a pale mare, and on the back of this mare was a beautiful woman. The most beautiful woman you can imagine. Words cannot describe her. And she rode stately, slowly across the plain that surrounded the mound of Arbeth. And he called to his one man. He said, "Hey, you, one of my men, get on that horse and go find out what the hell she wants, because she's kind of cute." And so he kicked his horse into speed, and he rode, and he rode, and he rode. And the woman on the horse never seemed to speed up at all. Slowly and slightly she rode across from the east to the west. But no matter how fast this horseman rode, he got no closer to her until at last he had to surrender the horse's exhaustion and came back. Well, in the morning they were certainly not mad. They were not dead, but they had certainly seen a wonder. And so they all went to sleep off their carousing. The next afternoon, it began again. Drinking and lying and cheating and storytelling until at last he said, "Okay, I'm going back up the mound. Who's with me?" Well, a lot of the guys said, "We dodged that bullet. I ain't going back up there." So he and a small handful of people headed back up to the mound, and this time he had his fastest messenger on his horse waiting on the mound. And just as the sun set, to the east there was a pale mare. And on the back of the pale mare was a beautiful woman. The most beautiful woman you can imagine. Words cannot describe her. And slowly and stately she rode across the plain. He wasted no time now. He said, "Go, find out who she is and what her errand is in my land." And the messenger rode and rode and rode and rode, and dust flew up, and foam came from the horse's mouth, until at last he had to give up to the horse's exhaustion, and the beautiful woman disappeared into the west. The third day passed, and there was Prith Penanu on top of the mound of Arbeth. No one would join him again. They had passed the death and the madness by twice. No one but him risked a third chance. And he, with his hunger, with his incompletion, with his longing, was drawn to the mound of Arbeth as nothing else. And there he stood upon his own horse, waiting as the sun set, and the mare appeared in the east. On the back of the mare was the most beautiful woman you can imagine. Words cannot describe her. And she began her ride across the plain. Slowly, stately she rode. And he kicked his horse, sped after her with all he could muster, riding and riding and riding and riding and riding, until at last the horse was about to drop under him, and he said, "My lady, for the sake of the one you love the most, please stop!" She gave a very gentle tug to her reins. She turned to him and said, "It would have been far better for your horse if you just asked a little sooner." And he said, "Who are you? And what is your business in my land?" And she said, "I am Rhiannon, and I am a queen in the land from which I come. And my business is you, Prith Penanu, for you are the man that I love. You